So I had a viral comment this week, and that was, well, the title of this video, how to piss people off on the internet look better at 40 than 20 or whatever. After seeing this pattern of women on the internet, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s and above, whatever, feeling hot, looking hot, and like liking themselves and putting themselves out there, it's like the comment sections are always crazy. This is kind of like a phenomenon I've seen recently, is like a lot of people being triggered about sexier women who are, I would say older, but I mean, what is older? Who are outside like the patriarchal norm, looking and feeling like super hot online and just basically talking about the fact that they feel and look super hot and they're like super happy and blah, blah, blah. These videos are pretty innocuous. This visibly pisses people off in the comments. A lot of the comments are like, she's desperate. She's so fake. She's so desperate. She's trying to convince herself she's happy when she's not. She's clearly miserable. She's clearly seeking validation, seeking attention, and blah, blah, blah. The comments are always crazy. And so I was just like, hey, listen, you know how to piss people off? Look hot on the internet at 40 and be a woman. That's how you piss the internet off. I think I'm mainly fascinated because I don't find any of it to be true whatsoever. Now I'm 38. I'm like, wow, everybody lied to me. They said that you were going to get less desirable and less hot, and you know that you had all these things to fear as you got older. And I just don't experience that at all. I just don't experience that at all. I experience quite the opposite. I experience more power, more fulfillment, more sex appeal, more confidence. It's like the complete opposite of what I was told as, you know, someone in her late teens, early 20s who was told by the patriarchy that like, oh, those old ladies are just jealous of you. Even like a 25-year-old was like old, and like it's like women are just perpetually jealous of younger women. When you're young, you believe it, you kind of buy into it, and you get gassed up by it, and you think like the whole world is jealous of you, and it's quite embarrassing, honestly. I hope that if you're in your early 20s, you don't fall for that, because that is so silly. From a patriarchal standpoint, an older woman, aka someone above like 25, she couldn't possibly be hot, happy, or attractive, because otherwise that would squash the core dominance of the patriarchy. And it's not even that like the current paradigms benefit all men. It doesn't benefit men for women to be uniquely fragile against nature. It doesn't benefit men for women to be depreciating assets, as my ex-boyfriend from 100 years ago would say. It doesn't benefit men to live in this paradigm either, because yes, it keeps them safe and it keeps them in power, but it's like they can still have power on another level. Anyway, so it kind of squashes the core dominance of the patriarchy when a woman is happy and hot and sexy and gets attention at these ages. And so when men online see these women doing that successfully, they are triggered. And women are triggered too, which I'm going to go into, but they are triggered and they say these women are fake and desperate and needing validation. The fact that that is what you see tells me more about you than it does about this person in this video. Because this person in this video to me looks like in control, happier than ever with her figure, with her attractiveness, with her sex appeal, with herself, with her mental health. Like, she to me looks like a fully formed human being who's defied the patriarchy and feels stronger and more empowered because of it. Because it's like when you overcome that hump in your head, you feel more powerful. When you squash these lies of the patriarchy, you build this strength and you build this like confidence. And that's what I see in these videos. But these people commenting on these videos, that's telling me more about you. We're told in like the most like patriarchal centers that like women are born with value and men have to earn value. Nature would never design anything that way. Like, that just isn't a thing. That's a man-made concept. Like, this only fits the idea that women are a commodity to be purchased and used and discarded. That is the only way that this narrative works. Nature wouldn't design one gender to prosper while another gender is doomed. How does that suit nature? I can think of the reality right now where men get worse and women get better. Men are just used for sperm. They don't really offer any other contribution. They don't actually help raise children at all. Women are meant to get more attractive with time because they need to be able to take care of the household, and they need people in the household to look up to them and respect them and love them. So like they have to be attractive because they need people to follow them and be led by them. They need to be trusted. So therefore they need to be attractive. It's just nature. And men just decline with age after like 20. Crusty sperm, erectile dysfunction, they just decline into the abyss because they're just not useful anymore. There's not really a need for them anymore. We get all the hunting and gathering by like the young men that are just spreading their sperm around. We don't need them after 25. Do you see how this can be constructed in a completely different made-up fairy tale story? It's a fairy tale story, number one, that men are not attracted to women in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, because they are. It's a made-up story that women decline with age because as long as you invest in yourself, man or woman, you can get better with age. It's a complete farce to buy into the idea that you're supposed to, ultimately what we're talking about, decline in satisfaction of life, because that's ultimately what the patriarchy says. Women's satisfaction declines with age because they don't get validated by men. That's the thesis that we're working with here. That is a farce, which happens to also be a phenomenon, because haven't you noticed that this is true in certain cases? Like there are reports of women, they lose their sex drive, they look frumpy, they look bitter, they look frigid. Why does this occur? Well, I can make a suggestion. Women are not supposed to be sexy after like 22, 23. You're not supposed to be sexy. You're supposed to be downplaying this. You're also told from the beginning of time, if you have a sex drive, you are defective. We are told that we don't have sexual needs. The only needs are the desires of men. Women have no use for sexuality. That's what we're told. So we're told female sexuality is invalid, non-existent. Women only have sex for men. Women don't actually need to have sex. That's what we're told. So because this need is looked at as invalid, where men's sexuality is put on a pedestal, and this all comes from the Bible. Polar opposite. Men fuck everyone, women fuck no one. So women are told that their sexuality doesn't matter. You need to suppress it. You need to dress down, especially after motherhood. If you show one iota of sexuality after motherhood, you are absolutely shamed. We told them that having a family would be their ultimate fulfillment. They became trapped in marriages where they were miserable, a slave to the family, told that martyrdom was the way to become a good mother. Why do you think? Give me your best guess as to why you think that women would wind up bitter and frumpy and not caring about sex. Why do you think? And that's why women in the comments are triggered, because the women who bought this lie, hook, line, and sinker, that they were supposed to not care about sex, they're supposed to be the moral barometer of the human race. So my goal always is to help women recognize their power, because like, stop buying these stupid lies. Like, stop buying into these lies. Like, the big problem is that we all suffer when women are not in their power. The big problem is that when you buy into these patriarchal ideas, you're not reaching your full potential. You're settling for way less. You feel like shit. You're suppressing your true nature, and you're not going to get out of life what you're supposed to get out of life. You will have like some type of regret in life. If you're not feeling life, you're not going to ever get what you want from life. Find your true alignment aside from all these fairy tales you've been told. Find your true desires and know that they are valid and normal, and that you can fulfill them and follow them. I think the biggest epidemic that I see with women is we gaslight ourselves. Now, I don't anymore. I do not gaslight myself, very rarely, because I created a practice, which I'm going to tell you, in order to train myself out of this habit. But like, gaslighting is the biggest thing that we have done as a detriment to ourselves. We gaslight ourselves nonstop. So what you snap out of this is just like, stop gaslighting yourself. I need you to go above and beyond with backing yourself, which means, oh my God, was I too crazy? Should I have not done that? Am I reading into things? Am I too paranoid? Am I too crazy? Am I too dumb? All of those things that you say, like, you need to just quit. And you just unequivocally back yourself now. And like the trigger response for women will be like, always want to give the benefit of the doubt to everyone. They always want to give the benefit of the doubt, like maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm this, maybe I'm that, maybe I don't know all the facts. I need hard evidence, blah, blah, blah. Your evidence is your instinct. Your evidence is how you feel right now. We are throwing the baby out with the bathwater when we do this shit. When we give everyone the benefit of the doubt, it just gives this energy of like, you are a pushover. You do not value your soul. That's why your soul is slowly dying. This is about figuring out who you truly, authentically, genuinely are and becoming that person and feeling empowered to become that person without fear or doubt. Being excited about your future, etc., etc. Knowing that you're going to continue to get better and sexier, more powerful and more rich and all the things that you want as long as you're investing in yourself. From now on, I need you to be brave enough to trust yourself without a question. Every instinct, every feeling, every nudge, every desire, every single thing, unequivocally back yourself and just repeat to yourself, you are not crazy, you are not crazy, you are not crazy, you are not wrong. You are not crazy, you are not wrong, okay? So this is the thing that you need to do. This is your homework, and you just need to get really good at backing yourself. And this doesn't mean that you can't actually be wrong about something, okay? You can take responsibility for what you need to take responsibility for. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is train yourself out of the overwhelming propensity to doubt yourself and to gaslight yourself. That's gotta go. That's not hot. That is not sexy. That is not how you get hotter as you get older. That's how you wind up in obscurity, because you wind up living a life that doesn't even look like you. And how can you be attractive if you don't even look like you? So you become more attractive by becoming a brighter version of yourself. And imagine yourself as like a light. Every time you sell off a little piece of your soul, which is every single time you doubt yourself, every time you give someone the benefit of the doubt, every time you gaslight yourself, every time you sell yourself short, you're giving little pieces of your light away. And that is how you decrease your attractiveness over time. Instead of asking, am I crazy? For the love of God, just know that you are not fucking crazy. Don't you have any evidence at this point in your life? Like, I was right. I was right. I was right there. I was right there. I was right there. Oh my God, I was right about that. I was right about that. Aren't you sick of always being right and never having backed yourself? Do you know how much that diminishes your confidence to never back yourself and to always be doubting yourself? Like, do you know how much that kills your confidence? It's killing your spirit slowly, slowly, slowly. We're done now. You're not crazy. Just practice it, okay? Just do it. Stand in your power. You have to know that those situations where you knew you were right, you have to know how to identify them and then be right, and don't waver. Claim your power. Even when you're in that negotiation, either an energetic or an actual verbal negotiation, stay in your power and just repeat, I'm not crazy. I'm not the crazy one. 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 As much as you need to in order to get it through your head that you're not the fucking crazy one. Stop giving people so much power over you in your life. That is not attractive. You're not being a good person by constantly doubting yourself, okay? Because you are not a good role model for your kids. You're not a good role model for your friends. You are not a good leader. You are not the brightest light that you could possibly be. Therefore, you're not contributing to the world in the most productive way that you possibly could be. There are so many absurd things that are occurring because you're doubting yourself. Just grow a pair and do not back down, okay? We were conditioned to accommodate, but now we need to uncondition that gene. When your spirit is strong, your physical body and your physical experience is optimal. And it continues to stay optimal and grow more optimal and stronger throughout your existence, throughout your life. That's how you maximize your experience of being a human despite your age. Okay, the narrative that 22 your life was over, I have thought that way, so I understand. I've been through all the emotions. I've been through the fake biological clock. I've been through the fear of like aging. I've been through the fear of like all the things society tells you that are going to happen that never actually happen. I've been through all those things, and I'm telling you now, this is the most sustainable way to live life.